Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV. Welcome to another News Daily video, but before I get into things, as you guys can see, today's video is brought to you by OneFootball, and thanks to all of you, I'm able to get another campaign for this month. So if you want to help support me, make sure you go to the link in the description below, click on that because every download does get tracked by OneFootball. It helps me out a lot, and the OneFootball app is the perfect companion app to have beside you whenever you want quick stats, football news or player information. I say it every single time. It's an app I've always been using before I even started working alongside OneFootball, so it means a lot to me. If you guys want to help me out, make sure you download it in the description below. But for today's video, I'm going to be talking about Callum Wilson, I'm going to be talking about Barella and Paredes, I'm going to be talking about Morata as well as giving my thoughts and opinions on some other stories. You guys, for today's video, everyone's always telling me I need to ask for more likes, so for today's video, help me get more than 1,000 likes if you enjoyed today's video. But anyway, moving straight into the first video for today, that's in regards to Callum Wilson. Now, Sky Sports are stating that we're prepared to make a £50 million move for Wilson if other striker targets don't get fulfilled. Now, the only real new piece of information is the fact that we would be willing to spend up to £50 million for Callum Wilson. And to be honest, I can't really be bothered to get into the other reports. I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on this news story. And wow, 50 million for Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson that has a massive injury history. Can you really rely on this guy to be fit for a full season? I don't think so. And I don't really understand why we're so willing to spend big money on players that don't really fulfill what they can do throughout a season. Ross Barkley was another one. And I feel like his career's really been affected due to missing out on an entire season of football. He wasn't ready for this move just yet. He needed one more season at Everton before he moved on. And I personally feel like with Callum Wilson, I want to see what this guy can do over a course of an entire season. Now, I'm even surprised why we're so strongly linked with Callum Wilson. Of course, he's pretty high on the priority list. The three main targets we are looking at for the striker position for this window seem to be Higuain, Vardy, Wilson and Mertens, but Mertens is like right at the end right now. But it really does continue this new trend that we are seeing with our club of overspending for average players. Now consider this, from Oscar to Ross Barkley, from Ramirez to Drinkwater, from Costa to Morata, we're overspending for players who aren't as good as previous players we had. And is the barrier of entry so low at our club right now that guys like Wilson have a chance to play for us? I would like to think not. If the excuse is there aren't many strikers available in this window, that doesn't mean that we should justify spending 50 million for Callum Wilson. Now, when it comes to Higuain and Vardy, there isn't much I can say. You know, I did release a video a few days ago in regards to Luis Campos and the complications surrounding Higuain. So if you want the up-to-date scoop on what's been happening, I suggest you do watch that video. But all I can say about these two players is the fact that we're still interested in both of them. Vardy has become another target as well, and I feel like this guy would make way more sense signing him compared to someone like Callum Wilson. Look at our recent signings over last season. Morata and Bakayoko bought for big money. They cost us more than 100 million combined. Look at them now. Morata's about to leave this window. Bakayoko's at Milan. That's money wasted, and it's like you can't even sell these players because they cost such a fortune that you have to send these guys on loan first, and you don't even get that 100% guarantee that you are going to get any money back from their transfers. We're the only big club that does this. It makes no sense. And this is why I get so frustrated with Roman, because it's like you're allowing people like Marina and Scott to make all these vile decisions every single time. I mean, the reports coming out that Marina isn't too keen on signing Higuain just sums it all up. But maybe you guys, maybe I'm being a bit too hasty. In the comment section below, give me your thoughts and opinions. How do you guys personally feel about Callum Wilson? Now, moving on to the second story for today, that's in regards to Barella and Paredes, the midfield targets that are strongly linked with us right now. Now, it did come out last night that Cagliari had a bid accepted for Nathan Nandez from Boca Juniors. They bid about £21 million, and it seems like Boca Juniors are replacing this guy immediately with Ivan Marcone from Cruz Azul. And Cagliari just signed Walter Barca from Chievo, so all signs are pointing towards Barella signing for us this window. Now, the reports did come out earlier today stating that Barella is a bit conflicted in regards to signing for Chelsea. Of course, Napoli are another club strongly interested in the player, and there's been light reports of interest from Liverpool and Man United, but us and Napoli are the two main favourites for Barella. Now, the reports aren't saying why, but if I was to personally take an educated guess, I think it would come down to the fact that he might be doubting how much game time he's going to get, because essentially he is going to be that backup player for Kante, but because he's very versatile, he should play more games, and I can't imagine that he would be used as a substitute most times. And I think this is where reports of Zola speaking to him personally make a lot of sense, because they're both Sardinian, and I can imagine that Zola speaking to him to calm down his worries and to persuade him to sign for us. And it is quite funny because reports did come out today linking us with sending Ampadu on loan to Cagliari as a part exchange for the deal. But if you guys have seen my previous video, I've already said this already. And because Sarri himself has already stated that Ampadu will be replacing Cahill, that's not going to happen. I told you guys in that video that was old news. When Barella news started coming out in December, that was when I heard the information in regards to the bid we're going to make and how the deal is going to go down, which I did disclose in a previous video. But really, this is a question for you guys. I'm curious. Whenever I give transfer news, do any of you remember hearing it from me? Honestly, I'm just curious. But moving on to Paredes from Zenit St. Petersburg. Now, you already know that I like to be honest. I haven't heard anything about Paredes personally, but that doesn't mean that the press are making things up. It's just that when it comes to this deal, I'm not really reading any new information other than we are talking to Zenit St. Petersburg. We're possibly interested in signing both Barella and Paredes. But all the reports keep saying is that we're close to finalising a move, but there's no context or any information, and I haven't been able to find out any behind the scenes stuff in regards to this deal. I gave my opinions on the ability of the player in a previous video, but other than that, there's nothing really much for me to say. I think there's one thing that Paredes could fulfill, and that's his ability to take shots from distance. We don't really have any good long shot takers in this team, and he really is an identical replacement for Fabregas, the same type of playing style, very forward thinking, lots of vertical passes. They have that supreme confidence to always make that forward pass. Sarri has worked with him before. He's at a very good age where he can develop and get stronger. As I've said, if midfield players leave, then this signing makes a lot more sense, and it makes sense as to why we're possibly going to sign both players. And to end things with a final report, that's in regards to Alvaro Morata. Now, this shouldn't come as a surprise to any of you guys because it's been quite clear that we've been looking to get rid of him for a while now, but news is coming in that Atletico Madrid are entering the fray to try and sign Morata. Now, just to give you guys the full story, before their interest, it seems like Sevilla were the favourites for Morata. Their president did confirm that Morata is interested in signing for them on loan. More details came out that Sevilla will be offering 5 million for the loan fee, as well as the option to buy for 35 million. And on top of that, and reports were saying that Sevilla would have paid for the full wages for Morata, which is about 140,000 per week. Now that Atletico Madrid are showing interest, reports are stating that Morata is going to hold talks with them in the next 48 hours. This could be a decent move for Morata. Originally, he did come through their academy before Real Madrid signed him, and reports are stating that he would like to make a return to Madrid where he can be around family and friends. Given my thoughts and opinions on this, well, I've given quite a few thoughts and opinions on Morata over the past. Even though I always get frustrated with him, I've always had perspective when it comes to Morata, and that's down to the fact that I never thought this guy would be a top forward anyway. I mean, throughout his entire career, when's he ever had a standout season? For me, Morata's always been a striker that gets you about 15 goals per season. He's not world class, he's decent for that level, he does provide guarantees, but we need a forward that's going to get us more goals than that. It's as simple as that. Now, I found it quite funny because in the report from goal.com, they were saying that Simeone likes Morata for his ability to hold up the ball and play with his back to goal, which is kind of funny because it's like, have you not been watching this guy over the past 18 months? But I kind of feel like the team don't have a good playing relationship with Morata, and I think Morata doesn't have a good playing relationship with the team. I always say this, you want a striker that's going to complement the tactical system and the players at your disposal, and most times when you have a forward that does complement you, they end up scoring you a ton of goals. But anyway, good luck to Morata. Hopefully this move does get sealed quickly because you know how we do things. we have to bring in someone first before we sell. But if we really let Morata go, it better not be for Callum Wilson. I'm sorry. It's a waste of money. You're effectively getting the same type of player in for 50 million more. I would like to think that our club isn't that stupid. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to keep it moving. Thank you for watching. Later tonight, I am going to be releasing a Q&A live stream at 9:30 PM UK time, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. Signing out.